Subject: Signals and Systems. Topic: Fourier transform and frequency spectra of signals. Lecture delivered by Indranil Sarkar. Frequency spectra of signals. Like Fourier series, the Fourier transform also provides us with a frequency domain perspective on signals. That is, instead of viewing a signal as having information distributed with respect to time, that is a function whose domain is time, we view a signal as having information distributed with respect to frequency. That is, a function whose domain is frequency. The Fourier transform of a signal X provides a means to quantify how much information X has at different frequencies. The distribution of information in a signal over different frequencies is referred to as frequency spectrum of the signal. Fourier transform and Fourier frequency spectra. To gain further insight into the role played by the Fourier transform X in the context of the frequency spectrum of small x, it is helpful to write the Fourier transform representation of small x with X omega expressed in polar form as follows. Small xt is equal to 1 by twice by integration of minus infinity to plus infinity X omega e to the j omega t d omega is equal to 1 by 2 pi integration minus infinity to plus infinity mod of x omega e to the j in bracket omega t plus argument x omega bracket close d omega. In effect, the quantity mod of x omega is a weight that determines how much the complex sinusoid at frequency omega contributes to the integration result x. Perhaps this can be more easily seen if we express the above integral as the limit of a sum derived from an approximation of the integral using areas of rectangles as shown on the next slide. Recall that integration minus infinity to infinity fx dx is equal to limit del x tends to 0 summation of k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity del x f k del x. Expressing the integral from the previous slide as the limit of its sum, we obtain xt is equal to limit del omega tends to 0 1 by 2 pi summation of k is equal to minus infinity plus infinity del omega mod of x omega dash e to the j omega dash t plus argument x omega dash, where omega dash is equal to k del omega. In the above equation, the k term in the summation corresponds to a complex sinusoid with fundamental frequency omega dash is equal to k del omega that has had its amplitude scaled by a factor of mod of x omega dash and has been time shifted by an amount that depends on argument x omega dash. For a given omega dash is equal to k del omega, which is associated with the k term in the summation, the larger mod of x omega dash is the larger the amplitude of its corresponding complex sinusoids is what j omega dash t will be. And therefore, the larger the contribution the k term will make to the overall summation. In this way, we can use mod of x omega dash as a measure of how much information a signal small x has at the frequency omega dash. The Fourier transform X of the signal small x is referred to as the frequency spectrum of small x. The magnitude mod of X omega of the Fourier transform X is referred to as the magnitude spectrum of small x. The argument X omega of the Fourier transform X is referred to as the space spectrum of small x. Since the Fourier transform is a function of a real variable, a signal can potentially have information at any real frequency. Earlier, we saw that for periodic signals, the Fourier transform can only be non-zero at integer multiples of the fundamental frequency. So the Fourier transform and Fourier series give a consistent picture in terms of frequency spectra. Since the frequency spectrum is complex, in the general case, it is usually represented using two plots, one showing the magnitude spectrum and one showing the phase spectrum. Recall that for a real signal small x, the Fourier transform X of small x satisfies X omega is equal to x term minus omega. That is, capital X is conjugate symmetry, which is equivalent to mod of x omega is equal to mod of x minus omega, and argument of x omega is equal to minus argument x minus omega. Since mod of x omega is equal to mod of x minus omega, the magnitude spectrum of real signal is always even. Similarly, since argument of x omega is equal to minus argument x minus omega, the phase spectrum of a real signal is always odd. Due to the symmetry in the frequency spectrum of real signals, we typically ignore negative frequencies when dealing with such signals. In the case of signals that are complex but not real, frequency spectra do not possess the above symmetry and negative frequencies becomes important. Bandwidth. A signal X with Fourier transform capital is said to be a band limited if for some non-negative real constant capital B the following condition holds: capital X omega is equal to 0 for all omega satisfying mod omega greater than B. In the context of real signals, we usually refer to B as the bandwidth of the signal small x. The real signal with the Fourier transform capital X shown below as the bandwidth B. Here, in frequency domain, we see that x omega is a signal which is plotted in the frequency domain axis, and minus b to plus b is the bandwidth. One can show that the signal cannot be both time limited and band limited. This follows from the time frequency scaling property of the Fourier transform. Now, frequency response of LTI system. Consider an LTI system with input x, output y, and impulse response small h, and let capital X, capital Y, and capital H denotes the Fourier transform of small x, small y, and h respectively. Since yt is equal to xt convolution of ht, we have that y omega is equal to x omega h omega. The function capital H is called the frequency response of the system. LTI system is completely characterized by its frequency response capital H. The above equation provides an alternative way of viewing the behavior of an LTI system. That is, we can view the system as operating in the frequency domain on the Fourier transform of the input and output signals. The frequency spectrum of the output is the product of the frequency spectrum of the input and the frequency response of the system. In the general case, the frequency response capital H is a complex value function. Often we represent h omega in terms of the magnitude mod h omega and argument h omega. The quantity mod h omega is called the magnitude response of the system. The quantity argument h omega is called the phase response of the system. Since y omega is equal to x omega h omega, we trivially have that mod of y omega is equal to mod of x omega h omega. Also mod of h omega, and argument y omega is equal to argument x omega plus argument h omega. The magnitude spectrum of the output equals the magnitude spectrum of the input times the magnitude response of the system. The phase spectrum of the output equals the phase spectrum of the input plus the phase response of the system. Since the frequency response capital H is simply the frequency spectrum of the impulse response small h, if small h is real, then mod of h omega is equal to mod of h minus omega, and argument of h omega is equal to minus argument h of minus omega. That means that is the magnitude response mod of h omega is even, and the phase response argument h omega is odd. Here we see the actual figure Fourier transform or inverse Fourier transform. We call f omega the direct Fourier transform of ft and ft the inverse Fourier transform of f omega. The same information is conveyed by the statement that ft and f omega are a Fourier transform pair. Symbolically, this statement is expressed as f omega is equal to Fourier transform of ft and ft is equal to inverse Fourier transform of f omega, or ft f omega are the pair. Fourier transform pair, we can say ft f omega are the Fourier transform pair. Now, f omega is equal to integration minus infinity to plus infinity ft to the minus j omega t dt. So for ft is equal to, we can write 1 by twice by integration minus infinity to plus infinity f omega e to the j omega t d omega. Since f omega is complex, we have both amplitude and angles of phase spectra. So we can write f omega is equal to mod of f omega e to the power j angle f omega, in which mod f omega is the amplitude and angle f omega is the angle of phase of f omega. Now, with some example, find the Fourier transform of e to the minus at ut. Here we see that first we are finding the Fourier transform. F omega is equal to integration minus infinity to plus infinity xt to the power minus j omega t dt. Here xt is equal to e to the power minus at ut. So we put the value over there under the integration. So integration becomes minus infinity to plus infinity to the power minus at ut to the power minus j omega t dt. Now we are integrating from 0 to infinite, because here ut have only value 1 when t greater than 0. In case of t less than 0, we do not have any value, because the unit step function has the criteria ut is equal to 1 when t greater than or equal to 0 and 0 otherwise. So we have to consider only the positive part, not the negative part. So we are considering 0 to infinite e to the minus a plus j omega t dt, and the result comes out into minus 1 by a plus j omega to the minus a plus j omega t 0 to infinite, but mod of e to the minus j omega t is equal to 1. Therefore, as t tends to infinite, e to the minus a plus j omega t is equal to e to the minus a t into e to the minus j omega t is equal to 0. If a greater than 0, therefore f omega is equal to 1 by a plus j omega when a greater than 0. So the Fourier transform of e to the power at is 1 by a plus j omega. Expressing a plus j omega in the polar form as root over a square plus omega square e to the power j tan inverse omega by a, we obtain f omega is equal to 1 by root over a square plus omega square e to the power minus j tan inverse omega by a. Therefore, mod of f omega, which is the magnitude portion or amplitude spectrum, is equal to 1 by root over a square plus omega square, and angle f omega is equal to minus tan inverse omega by a, which is the phase spectrum. The amplitude spectrum mod f omega and the phase spectrum angle f omega are depicted in the figure, where we show through some sinusoidal signals we are representing f omega, whose amplitude is 1 by a, and angle f omega is represented in a angle way, from left to right. Observe that mod f omega is an even function of omega and angle f omega is the odd function of omega as expected. Block diagram representation of LTI system. Consider the LTI system with input x, output y, and impulse response small h, and let capital X, capital Y, and capital H denote the Fourier transform of x, y, and small h respectively. Often it is convenient to represent such a system in block diagram from the frequency domain as shown below. Here x omega, which is also in frequency domain, passes through the h omega and produces y omega as an output. Since the LTI system is completely characterized by its frequency response, we typically label the system with this quantity. Frequency response and differential equation representations of LTI system. Many LTI systems of practical interest can be represented using an nth order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Consider a system with input x and output y that is characterized by an equation of the form summation of k is equal to 0 to n bk d to k dt k yt is equal to summation of k is equal to 0 to capital M ak d to the power k by dt to the power k xt, where capital M less than or equal to capital N. Let H denotes the impulse response of the system, and let capital X, capital Y, and capital H denote the Fourier transform of small x, y, and h respectively. One can show that capital H is given by h omega is equal to y omega by x omega, which is the transfer function, that is the output by input. Here represented as a summation of k is equal to 0 to m a k j to the power k omega to the power k by summation of k is equal to 0 to n b k j to the power k omega to the power k. Observe that for a system of the form considered above, the frequency response is a rational function. Thank you.